I'm not teaching, I'm publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for Life in UK. This is part 658 while doing martial arts basic training. And if you participated in the martial arts basic training in the second half of the video, it is at honest, and these are just 4 little exercises. Now we prepared a video about the battles, which I mentioned in this book. So this video is about battles and war. And now we are trying to make a video, a presentation, and tell about all the battles and a little background information. Let's try to keep it short. Okay, I have a second camera and I'm going to try it. We have time for 3, maybe even 4 takes. Some battles in which Britain was involved. There was in 1066 the Battle of Hastings. There was a Norman conquest in that year, and William, the Duke of Normandy, had come over to England and conquered a lot of England. And in that Battle of Hastings in 1066, he won against Harold the Saxon king, and he then conquered England, and he became William the Conqueror. Then the next battle, which is an example of a battle, is in 1314, in 1314. That is the Battle of Bannockburn, and in that, Robert the Bruce led a Scottish army against the English, and the Scottish army won. Another battle is Battle of Agincourt. That was in 1514. And where the vastly outnumbered troops of Henry V won against the French. But England nevertheless left France in the 1450s. There was another battle in 1485. That was the Battle of Bosworth Field. It was the decision-making battle of the Wars of the Roses. The Wars of the Roses were from 1455 until that battle, 1485, Battle of Bosworth Field. And in that battle, the leader of the House of York, they had the White Rose. King Richard III died, and the winner was the House of Lancaster with the Red Rose, and Henry Tudor, the leader of the House of Lancaster with the Red Rose, won, and he married then after that battle the niece of King Richard III. She was also of the House of Lancaster, of the House of York, and now the two houses were combined. That is the Battle of Bosworth Field in 1485. Another important battle was the Battle of the Spanish Armada in 1588. And in that the troops, or the troops of Elizabeth I, she was the reigning monarch in Britain at the time, won against the Spanish Armada. And that increased Elizabeth I's popularity a lot. They were sent out to restore Catholicism in England from Spain because Elizabeth I was Protestant. And another important battle was in 1646 too, the Battle of Nesby and of Marston Moor. That was the civil wars in England. There was Charles I, and he believed in the divine right of kings, and he didn't often come into an agreement with the Parliament. And then a civil war happened. And it was when the king, supported by the Cavaliers, against the Parliament, the Roundheads. And in the battles of Nesby and Marston Moor, 1646, the King Charles I was defeated, and 3 years later, then in 1649, because he still wasn't willing to come to an agreement, he was then executed. Now, and the Scottish people weren't happy with that, so they tried to put Charles II onto the throne, the son of Charles I, who won the battles of Nesby and Marston Moor in 1646, and in 1650 there was the Battle of Dunbar, and in 1651 the Battle of Worcester, and in that Charles II was defeated, the same as his father Charles I, by Oliver Cromwell. And then there was another battle, and that was in 1689. Now, Charles II then came back to reign after the Restoration. He was defeated in the battles of Worcester and Dunbar. He fled to Europe, but he came then back in the Restoration. He became king, and then one day he died, and his brother James II got to be king, but he was a Catholic. Charles II was not a Catholic. He was a Protestant. So now there was a Catholic on the throne, James II, and the people didn't like that. And the Glorious Revolution happened, and William came onto the throne. William married the woman reigning, and James II fled. Now James II wasn't so happy about that, and he had support in Scotland. And in 1689 there was the Battle of Killiecrankie, and there were the Scottish people who were supporting James back onto the throne. They were defeated, and James II tried with the help of a French army to invade Ireland, but he was also defeated in the Battle of Boyne in 1690. And then there was another battle in 1746. The grandson of James II, Boyne Prince Charlie, was trying to come back onto the throne by support of the Scottish clans. They were then also defeated in the Battle of Culloden in 1746. Then there was another battle, that was the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805, and that was against the French Navy. And that Admiral Nelson, he was the leader of a of a British fleet, of British troops. He died in the battle, but he has a monument at the Battle of Trafalgar, and it's square at the square of Trafalgar in London. And another battle was in the Napoleonic Wars in 1850, and that was at Waterloo, the Battle of Waterloo, and there the French troops were also defeated. And then another battle during the First World War was the Battle of the Somme. And on one attack on the morning in July 1916, 60,000 British troops were casualties just on one day in the Battle of Somme in the First World War. And in the Second World War, there was the Battle of Britain in the summer 1940. The German airplanes were attacking Britain and making the Blitz and dropping bombs and all. And the Royal Air Force with the Spitfires and Hurricanes was successfully defeating Britain. And that is according to several pages of the Life in UK Test Handbook, for example 38 and 39. I think it was okay. I started a bit enthusiastic because I knew we have so many data, so many numbers, so many facts, so I started a bit enthusiastic. But I think it was good. I'm going to stop the second camera. And we have a little time before we're doing the martial arts basic training with our Commonwealth countries. Probably the last video. We have now one planning, and it's not really planned to, we could go over it again and look for something and to vent about the video. No, but Commonwealth countries. We want to learn all 47 and show on the world map where we are. We are at 30 in. But next to here were Rwanda and Samoa, and I looked up where we are. Now Rwanda is, no I can't find it again. Maybe it's not on the, but we have an African map, I said. Okay, it is in Africa, I can't find it. It is somewhere at the west coast of Africa. West middle. It's landlocked. Now where is it? Okay, I'm going to look it up again. It's somewhere in West Africa. About West, South, Middle Africa. And landlocked. And the other thing was Samoa. Samoa, these are again islands. Not here. Here's Fiji, a bit larger, next to Australia. Samoa is even more east than Kiribati. Maybe it's already here. It is already here. Here's 2 times Kiribati. Okay, we're having here Australia. That is part of Commonwealth and New Zealand. The Fiji are also part of Commonwealth. And here's Kiribati. And that's also here. So that goes beyond. Here's Kiribati. And where we have an Samoa. That is also part of the Commonwealth. Okay, Samoa. Okay, the islands we have so far are the Maldives south of India, Mauritius east of Madagascar, and Creta close to Turkey, and Malta south of Sicily. Then we're having Fiji north of Australia, and Kiribati, I'm going to say also northeast of Australia, and Samoa then even more southeast of Australia. And when we're having, I don't know if there are islands, but we could say the Bahamas were islands. The Bahamas and Antigua and Barbuda at the West Indies, and the southwest one of the West Indies is Grenada. And I don't know the island, but Dominican Republic is also, and Jamaica also. Good. The problem is, I can't find Rwanda. Let's look for one little moment if we can find Rwanda. Bissau was part of the Commonwealth, the Gambia was part, Guyana was, Ghana and Nigeria and Gabon and Cameroon. There seems to be an Angola town in an Angola country. Okay, Botswana and Eswatini and Lesotho and Mozambique and Kenya were so far part of the Commonwealth, and somewhere has to be Rwanda. Okay, I can't find it. We're going to look where Rwanda is, and we're going to also have a look. But we're going to do it in the next video directly. Rwanda, and the next one will be Sierra Leone, Singapore, and Solomon Islands. around 10 left, a lot. Okay, if you're here for geography, if you're here for learning the 47 Commonwealth countries, you can go directly to the next video. We will do another martial arts basic training. If you participate, please at your own risk. We're bringing the leg up, we're doing the greeting march from the foot up and down, and up and down, and up and down. And now you open up and bring the foot high and down. And the next exercise, the stretching exercise. We're taking the leg at the ankle, I think it's a crane, and we're making a straight leg, and we're bringing the knee down to the floor, so we're actually stretching the quad muscles. And now with the other leg. Take the foot at the ankle, make a straight back, and bring the knee down to the floor. And the next exercise, stretching exercise, the train stop. The foot points outwards and we're stretching the inner side of the leg. And over to the other side. And the toes are pointing forward and we're stretching the leg. And now we're going from side to side, the mantis. And last two. Now we're doing the lunges. We're falling in front, doing a lunge, and we're going back again. And the last two. And now we're bringing one knee up and bringing it back. And the other knee up and back. And we're doing 1, 2, 3 steps in the middle. And again. And the last time with each leg. And now stretch kicks. Hand out and kick against it. The other hand out and kick against it. You can do 3 steps in the middle. And the last time with each leg. And now we're doing the frog. Leg up and back, up and in. Again, up and back, up and in. And a last time with each leg, up and in, up, back. And now doing Christian kicks, leg up and back, and up and back, up, back, up and back. And the last time of each leg, up and back, and the other one. And now swing kicks. Leg up, swing it over. Step back, other one up, swing it over. And swing over, step back, 2, 3 steps, and swing over. 1, 2, 3. And the last time with each leg. And now, just for fun, 10 push-ups. Elbows close to the rib cage, and we're going down. The first one, and the second one, and the fourth one, and 8, and now the 9th one, and the 10th one. And we're stretching the heel onto the ground, and we're pulling the toes in. The foot to the left, and pull the toes in. The foot to the right, and pull the toes in. Foot in the middle, pull the toes in, and move the whole leg from left to right. Other leg onto the ground, pull the toes in. Foot to the right, and pull the toes in. Put to the left and pull the toes in. Put into the middle and pull the toes in, and move the leg from left to right. And closing exercise. The trunk igniter, we're rooting in. Out. And the last one in. Out. And close the legs. I thank you very much, and until next time.